Estimated reading time, 17 minutes. When I was alive, or, more accurately, the last time I was alive, I honestly didn't give a lot of thought to the idea of life after death. It never seemed important. When you're young, and your whole life's ahead of you, death and its possible consequences seem so distant as to not even be a blip on the radar. Now I know better. I know for certain that what awaits me in this life, and what will probably follow me into the next, terrifies me. As the title of my story suggests, yes, I was reincarnated, and I'm writing this here because I truly can't think of anywhere else to put it where someone in a similar situation as myself might see it. I'm not even sure what this is supposed to be. A warning? An SOS maybe? As badly as I want to call the police, or anyone else for that matter, it would be useless. No one would believe me, and, hell, there's just not enough time. Let's go back to my previous life, or, I guess, my previous death, so I can explain. In my last life I was a teacher named Daniel living in Hong Kong. After getting my degree in the US, I decided to spend some time teaching English in China to get some experience in the world before I settled down as a high school lit teacher. While other people have the money to take a gap year or travel the world after college, I didn't. So, I figured seeing a new country while also making some money would be the perfect compromise. Up until the very last minute, I loved China, the bustling streets, the exotic food, exotic to me anyway, and the nightlife were enchanting. The only unfortunate thing that happened in China, well, besides dying, was this girl I dated for a while, Jingsu, ended up suddenly calling our relationship off. I came to find out she had met, and began dating, another teacher from the same school I taught at conspicuously soon after our breakup. We weren't head over heels in love or anything, not yet at least, but I had been holding out hope for something more. It happened a week after Jingsu and I split on what felt like a completely ordinary Tuesday. It's strange just how normal the day seemed. Shouldn't there be some kind of premonition or maybe a sixth sense that today's the day you're going to die? Anyway, I woke up around 7, got ready, grabbed my bike off the wall hooks, and took the elevator down to street level where I started on my usual route to work. Now, normally I was extremely attentive when on my bike. Hong Kong was great, but, as with any big city, some people tend to drive like they're in a video game, so you have to keep on your toes, and I got really good at ignoring all kinds of distractions, but, that day, something ripped my attention away from the route and I couldn't help it. I looked. I swear to God I took my eyes off the road for a split second, then when I turned my head back, boom, lights out. What distracted me was seeing Jingsu and her new boyfriend walking casually on the sidewalk in the same direction I was riding towards the school. I drifted too far onto the wrong side of the road and a laundry truck coming towards me, the driver probably also distracted, crossed too far into my lane at the exact same time and hit me head on. I was dead before I even hit the ground. After the accident I was lost in a senseless darkness for a short time. I couldn't feel anything, or say or see anything, but I was still thinking. Then, gradually, sensation returned. I was laying on the ground, facing up, breathing clean air and flexing my fingers through fine, dry grass. I opened my eyes, expecting an onrush of agonizing pain and the sight of the dreary city sky through a mask of blood. Instead, I saw nothing but white. I sat up and looked around. What amazed me more than not being a popped-open bag of human soup on the pavement was this strange, white world that surrounded me. I was wearing a white hoodie and white sweatpants, barefoot, with a clean-shaven face and neatly cut hair. I saw hundreds of other people who were dressed just like me, standing, sitting, laying down passed out, some talking to each other, some in the fetal position rocking back and forth with their hands over their ears. The ground was covered with smooth, white grass, and the sky was a vibrant white, not cloudy, just a solid bright shade. A voice to my right brought me back to the moment. "Hey, bud, you good?" I looked up. Standing next to me was a tall black guy with perfectly straight teeth and close-cropped hair. He looked a little like Jimi Hendrix if he worked in an office building. "Hey," I responded. "I'm honestly not sure where the hell am I? What is this place?" The guy chuckled and put a hand on my shoulder, then extended his other arm out to the never-ending crowd of people. "Welcome to the waiting room, my man." I didn't move my head, just shifted my eyes towards him suspiciously. Whatever was going on, this guy seemed way too happy about it. "Is that supposed to mean something to me?" I asked. The man took his hand off my shoulder and laughed. "You're right, I'm sorry. It takes a while for people to get used to it again. Let me introduce myself. My name's Benjamin." I'm what you'd call a long-timer here, so I go around helping the newbies get acclimated. I stood up and asked, is a newbie what I am? I pointed to myself, and what he is. I pointed to one of the previously unconscious people who just started waking up. That's right. Benjamin exclaimed, someone will be along to help that one shortly, for now it's just you and me, come on, let's take a walk. All right, I responded, still confused, I'm Daniel by the way. I extended my hand. We shook and he nodded his head, then we walked further into the waiting room. At first, the whole place just looked like an endless span of white grass and white sky, but as we walked things began to appear, trees with wood that looked like pearl, and leaves that resembled falling snow. There were short buildings designed in architectural styles from all different time periods that were made from the same material as the trees. What struck me as most beautiful of all were dozens of small ponds filled with crystal clear water and teeming with white koi fish that swam lazily back and forth. This is the waiting room, Benjamin began, doing a half circle with his arms outstretched. This speech was given to me 7 days ago, and now I'm giving it to you. You see, bro, you're dead as a doornail. Benjamin paused as if waiting for me to freak out or something. Yeah, I responded, I kinda got that. My memories are starting to come back to me bit by bit. In fact, I even remember my accident. My dumbass crossed over into the other lane on my way to work and I got hit by a truck. I was only 24, man. Benjamin sighed, shit, 24 is a tough age. I was 30 when I battled leukemia for 8 months before I finally kicked the bucket. Jesus, I'm so sorry, I said. Yeah, me too, man. But listen, it's not all doom and gloom. I'm not long for this place and neither are you. What do you mean? Look, Benjamin pointed down towards one of the nearby koi ponds where I could see my reflection in it like a mirror. This isn't the only you, Daniel. Remember, think hard and try to remember not just your life as Daniel, but all the lives before that. Before he had even finished his sentence, I was held fast by my own reflection. It changed. I wasn't Daniel anymore. My reflection had transformed to that of an old Hungarian man with a beard and bald head. In that life, I died at the age of 80 by falling off a cliff. It changed again. Now I was an African woman who died in childbirth when she was 19. Another change. I was in my mid-30s in a French military outfit from World War I. I was killed by gunfire at the Battle of the Somme. More faces appeared, more changes, more lives, more deaths. It went on, back further and further in time until I had to shake my head free of the water's trance, falling backwards onto my ass, ha. Benjamin cackled, you took that pretty well, bro. Some people puke when it happens for the first time after they get back. I nearly shit my pants when all that craziness went blasting through my head a week ago. I sat up straight, looking at the water's surface. That was me. MMHMM, Benjamin nodded. I remember everything, all the lives, all the times I died. I remember I stopped talking and looked back into the memory of one of my past lives. There was something there that I didn't want to see, something I didn't want to remember, something bad. For a split second I thought he had seen it too, and was about to get up and run, or beat the shit out of me or something, but since I didn't see his reflection change, that must mean he couldn't have seen mine, right? That must have been the case, because Benjamin was still smiling. He walked over and sat down next to me. Fucking crazy, right? I saw my past lives too, so did everyone else here. And, in case you're wondering, not everybody was a saint. I'll tell you right up front, I killed someone in one of my pasts, totally got away with it too, never arrested or even suspected, and yet, in the life after that I was a hotshot investment banker in the 80s, just before my most recent life as Benjamin. I've come to realize, as most of us long-timers have, that it doesn't matter what you did in your past lives, after a week you'll be reincarnated as a newborn baby, and it's total luck of the draw. So wait a minute, I responded, you're saying that someone horrible, like Hitler, could have just been reincarnated as, like, what, a fucking trust fund baby in Sweden or something? No hell, no retribution for all the terrible shit they did?